dragon and tiger meet. During this movement, your goals are to move your palms and fingers in prescribed patterns through your etheric body to activate your acupuncture meridians, raising and lowering your heels in coordination with your hand movements, shifting all your weight from one leg to the other in coordination with your hand movements, inhaling and exhaling in coordination with your leg and hand movements. The next thing Craig will show you is that in Dragon and Tiger, you need to get your hand and your foot to move together. So as your heel rises, your hand rises. As your heel falls, your hand falls. That's all he's doing on one side. You don't even have to shift your weight from one leg to the other yet. Just get used to having your hand and heel rise and fall at the same speed in a smooth, coordinated manner. So the bottom of your palm will be just like the bottom of your foot. Your heel will rise. You'll leave the ball of your foot on the ground, and your heel will rise. You'll leave the ball of your foot on your ground. Your heel will go down. So now comes the next part, whereas one hand goes up, the other hand goes down. Most people have trouble coordinating the left and right sides of their body. The object is, as the heel and hand on one side of your body rise, they fall on the other at the same speed. Just like when you ride a bicycle, one pedal goes up and one pedal goes down at the same speed. So that's what you're going for here. Simply to get the coordination of rising and falling on both sides of your body. And now that we have done the preliminary, we now will look at the first movement of Dragon and Tiger with both your hands and your feet moving. The landmarks for exercise 1 from a standing posture. Bring your palms to face the outside of your thighs and fingers to point at your feet. Bring the hand to the inside of your leg, fingers pointing to inside of your foot. Bring the palm up the inside of the leg to the height of the quad. Bring the palm up to the height of the shoulder's nest as the palm turns up. At the height of your shoulder's nest, turn the palm down. Push the palm down to the height of the quad. Bring the hand to the outside of the thigh, fingers pointing to the ground. The fingers extend to the ground. Repeat 20 times or until you become comfortable without straining. Only then should you move on to the next step. As you become familiar with these landmarks, your hand should be able to move through them in a fairly fluid motion. So then all you have to do is just check that as your hand is moving smoothly, that it's just passing through these landmarks. One of the most difficult things about this movement for people is making sure that their shoulders stay down and that their shoulder blades move so that their elbows don't get stiff in the process. Getting the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the hands, and the fingers to move smoothly in a relaxed manner is not that easy. Then again, it's not that hard, but you need to work at it for a bit. Repeat the same hand movement on the other side. Bring your palms to face the outside of your thighs and your fingers to point to your feet. Bring the hand to the inside of your leg, fingers pointing to inside of your foot. Bring the palm up the inside of the leg to the height of the quad. Bring the palm up to the height of the shoulder's nest as the palm turns up. At the height of the shoulder's nest, turn the palm down. Push the palm down to the height of the quad. Bring the hand to the outside of the thigh, fingers pointing to the ground. Fingers extend toward the ground. Repeat this 20 times until you can do this without feeling any kind of strain. Only then should you move forward to the next step. Now, what's important is that your hands track the meridian lines where they are in your body. One of the experiences that many people have when they're tracking the meridian lines of their body, to know if their hand is the proper distance from their body, is that energetically it feels as though you're petting yourself. Same way you would a cat. This has a very positive and soothing effect on almost anyone who does it to themselves. And in that way, it's an extreme stress buster. So beside circulating the chi in your body, and this sense of petting will make it easier for you to feel how moving your hand through your etheric body is actually touching the chi on the surface of your body. So keep this in mind as you do this exercise. Now that you have practiced each of the sides separately, we'll now put both hands moving together in opposite directions. Bring your palms to face the outside of your thighs as your fingers point to your feet. Bring one hand to the inside of your leg, fingers pointing to the inside of your foot. Bring the palm up the inside of the leg to the height of the quad. Bring the palm up to the height of the shoulder's nest as the palm turns up. Turn the upper hand over to face down as the bottom hand rotates around to the inside of the leg. Palm raises up on one side as the palm drops on the other. As the upper palm arrives at the shoulder's nest, the bottom palm is on the outside of the leg, fingers facing the floor. And continue. Again and again, repeat 20 times or until you become comfortable without strain. Only then should you move on to the next step. The important point to notice is the turnover. When your hand on the top turns around at your shoulder's nest and the bottom one goes around to the inside of your leg. This clearly is the more difficult part of this movement. The transition, just like in a bicycle, the wheels, when you get the top and the bottom, getting them to reverse position. So remember, you need to get these two circles, the one on the bottom going around your leg and the one on the top going around in front of your shoulder's nest. These two want to become as smoothly coordinated in mesh and sync, moving kind of at the same time as you can possibly do. This will do wonders for your neck and shoulder tension. There are no two ways about that. Now, let's look at what your feet want to be doing. As your weight shifts onto one leg, you bend the knee to raise the heel off the ground. Importantly, leave the ball of the foot on the ground. As one heel descends, the other heel raises, and the weight shifts to the foot that is not raising in the air. Shift the weight back to the other foot as the other heel raises off the ground, remembering you should finish with your weight on the foot that is on the ground and not the one where the heel is lifting. Continue. Repeat 20 times or until you become comfortable without having any strain. Only then should you move on to the next step. A few things about doing this. If you have any sort of a back problem, you're going to find moving your feet smoothly up and down is going to be a problem because something in your spinal vertebrae will be messing with the signals down your legs. Give yourself time and notice how your lower back feels when you pick your feet up and down. Next, some people don't move enough in the area around their quad where their hip socket is. So even though you're bending your right knee, you should feel some movement in your hips. A vertical up and down, which makes it easier. When you begin to feel a flow going from your quad through your knee down to your foot, a very smooth, even flow, then you'll start being able to get into the bicycle thing of one leg rising and one leg going down very smoothly. Take your time. And remember that you also actually have to use your calf muscles. To lift your heel, your calf muscles have to get activated. To have your heel go up and down, you can't have your foot feel like it's dead. Your foot actually, the muscles of your foot have to move a bit. So just make your entire leg as alive as you can as one heel goes up and the other one goes down. That's very important. Now let's put all these pieces, all these moving parts together. The right hand comes around to face the inside of the thigh, the fingers facing the inside of the foot. As the hand rises up to the shoulder's nest, the heel rises with the hand, and the weight shifts to the other leg. As you turn the palm over, the other hand comes around to the inside of your leg, and its heel drops to the ground. One hand rises as the heel rises. One hand drops as the weight goes onto the back side. One goes up as one goes down. Keep your armpits open. Make sure that your shoulder blades continue to move. Let your elbows become as relaxed and as fluid as they can, knowing that in the beginning everyone has stiff elbows, and over time they get better. The up and down motion of your feet is what really moves your hands. It's not your hands that moves your feet, it's much more that the rising and falling of your feet activates your hands. The meridian flow in your body will be more strongly increased by the pumping in your legs, because that will cause blood to pump in your body, and then the chi that your hand is moving because the blood is flowing, as the two come together, will cause the circulation of blood and chi in your body to be more powerful than it would be otherwise.